Hey there, fellow actors. If you're like me, you don't have a dedicated place in your house to set up a self-tape studio. And if you're also like me, you have to set it up including your backdrop screen. And that drives me crazy. Watch what I have to do. And then, after I do my audition, I have to take it all down and stow it away again. That's a pain in the butt. And, as a general rule, I am lazy. I don't like having to do stuff over and over, back and forth, all over again. So, this is what I decided to do to make my acting life easier. And this is me in front of my new roll-down backdrop. So here's how I did it. I went to Home Depot, or as I affectionately call it, Home Despot, online, and found a Coolaroo outdoor shade. This shade is 6 feet wide and 6 feet long, although the length really doesn't matter. And it comes in cordless, which is good if you don't want things hanging down. If you got the corded one, you'd always have a chain hanging down from the side instead of a removable handle that slots into a little turnbuckle thing. So when it's rolled up, all you have is the bar along the ceiling, although it also can mount on the wall as well. But that's nice that it mounts on the ceiling to get it up and out of the way as much as possible. And then all you have to do is stow your handle. This was originally 6 feet wide, but you can't find backdrops on Amazon or anywhere else that are 6 feet wide. They make them 9 feet wide, but not 6. So this is a 5 foot wide scrim. But that's more than plenty to do your mid close-up shots for your auditions. And you can still zoom out quite a ways before you go off the edges. Now, this scrim is actually hung upside down. They come from the factory usually with a loop for mounting them. But I've got this one upside down because the way the Coolaroo is made is that there's a slot in this pipe. And in that slot is the fabric has a little loop in it through which they've threaded a little rubber pipe or hose or rope. And then that rope bulges out the loop so it won't pull out of the slot. So what you have to do is modify your Coolaroo to fit. Now you can keep it 6 feet wide and then roll up a 5 foot wide piece of fabric. And if you've got room for that, great. It shouldn't be a problem, although it won't look like it's made for it, the fabric. So what I did is before I mounted it, I took the pipe, and the pipe has plastic end caps. And to get it out, I took a screwdriver and I put it on the end of the slot right up against the cap, and then gently tapped with the screwdriver to work that cap out. And when it gets out a little bit, you can prise it open with the screwdriver and work it out. And once you get that cap off, you can just pull the fabric out with that rubber hose rope thing in it. And then you can cut your pipe to size with a hacksaw. Then you take your fabric, and you have to get a sewing machine or somebody who can sew for you, and sew a small loop in the bottom of the fabric, sufficiently large enough to accept that rubber pipe hose thing that comes with the Coolaroo. So you thread it back into your fabric, and then thread your fabric into the slot, and you make sure you put the fabric the right way out because the Coolaroo pipe hangs in only one position. I learned the hard way. I put my fabric in backwards, and when I hung it, all I would have had was the white backing. So keep that in mind. And then you mount it custom to the width of your pipe, using the attachments that they give you with the Coolaroo, or if you can find a stud, you screw straight into the ceiling studs, the joists above you, or the wall studs in the wall behind you. And for the plastic bottom weight, again, I just cut it with a hacksaw. These cap ends are really, really tight. I had a hard time trying to work them off with my own hands, so I ended up using a vise and then gently tapped with a screwdriver to work this off. Because they're plastic, that screwdriver could booger it up a little bit, so just be very careful. And once you get that cap end off, cut it to size, put the cap back on, and then feed it back into your scrim. And it will provide sufficient weight to give you the drape that you need. You can even bunch it up a little bit in the back if you want some wrinkles or folds in your backdrop. I think that's about it. I hope this was helpful. I hope this provides you with a great solution for your own home self-tape studio. To make it a little bit easier to set up and take down without having all this equipment standing around all the time. Take it easy and break a leg.